Before you dive into this sacred call, understand, you didn't find this video. This video found you. If your soul trembles at these words, it's because you've been set apart from the beginning. Subscribe to the chosen signal now, turn on your notification bell, and share this urgent word with others who feel, deep in their souls, that they've been called to something much greater. This is the final call. This is your time. There is a whisper, a silent call, a divine sigh that resonates incessantly within the chosen. You have always felt it, even when you could not yet explain it. A sense that there was something different about you. A restlessness that no human achievement, no applause, no external approval has been able to silence. This restlessness is not failure, it is confirmation. It is the heavenly DNA screaming that you are of a separate lineage. You were not born to fit in. You were born to light a fire. You are not being called because you are perfect. You are being called because even though you were wounded, you still said yes. Even though you were confused, you still believed. And that yes, that thread of faith in the midst of the storm, was all heaven needed to mark you as part of the invisible army that is now beginning to awaken to its eternal mission. For years you have wondered why you didn't fit in. Why even when surrounded by people, you felt alone. Why even when you achieved goals, you felt empty. Today, Spirit reveals the feeling of not. Belonging was the key to keeping you separate. You were preserved, isolated, even rejected, not by mistake, but by divine design. The world could not shape what was created to shape the world. Human hands could not touch what was reserved by the hands of God. You were sculpted in solitude, trained in silence, prepared in obscurity. And now, the time for awakening has come. The mark you carried in secret now begins to shine with undeniable light. You are not being called to be accepted. You are being called to be sent. Looking at your own history, you may see failures, falls, moments of weakness, but God sees availability, sees perseverance, sees heart. He did not choose those who never made mistakes. He chose those who, even when they made mistakes, got up and still said, "Here I am, Lord." Every pain you endured, every scar you carry, every silent renunciation was molding a spiritual structure capable of carrying glories that human eyes never imagined. You were not called to show off a perfect appearance. You were called to carry an authentic anointing. And now God begins to activate abilities that were dormant. You will see gifts emerge. You will feel strength where before there was weakness. Because God does not empower the perfect. He perfects the willing. There is a sound in the spirit that echoes like the beating of distant drums, the final summoning of the chosen. The time of awakening is not tomorrow. It is not when everything is perfect. It is now. The separation has already begun. The ranks of the army of light are being formed, not by strength, not by appearance, but by spirit. Those who answer the call will be used as pillars, as bearers of the new spiritual era that dawns on the horizon. Spiritual procrastination is over. The wait for ideal conditions is over. Those who feel the pulse of the call know it is time to cast off the weight that holds us back. It is time to align mind, heart, and steps to the rhythm of heaven. The final call echoes within you, and your response will determine your place in what God is about to manifest upon the earth. For years, the chosen ones walked unseen among the crowd, silent, ignored, rejected. It was as if their greatest qualities were intentionally veiled, as if the world was not ready to recognize the light they carried. But the Spirit now declares the time of concealment is over. Those who were hidden are being called to divine exposure. Not to seek fame, but to carry purpose. Not to satisfy ego, but to manifest the kingdom. The cloak of anonymity is removed, and with it comes the responsibility to influence, to lead, to illuminate. You will find that doors that were closed now open not by effort, but by heavenly appointment. The season of secret preparation gives way to the season of public manifestation. You have been prepared for this time. As the new emerges, the old must be dismantled. And this is not punishment, it is promotion. Environments that once felt comfortable now feel cramped. Relationships that supported the old version of you begin to disintegrate. Limiting thought systems, survival-based alliances, habits that held you back from expanding, all begin to crumble. Don't resist. Don't try to fix what God is breaking. Transition hurts, but pain is a sign that you are being repositioned. What is coming demands space, demands a renewed structure, demands a mindset aligned with the move of the Spirit. You cannot carry the new in old bottles. Let God reshape everything. Your surrender now will determine the heights you will reach. God is not just calling you to experience personal change. He is raising you up to be a spiritual influence in areas where few have the authority to enter. You have been set apart to be a light where before there was only darkness, to be a voice where before there was silence and fear, to be a bridge where before there were unbridgeable chasms. Your life will be a living message. Your story, an open letter written by God Himself. And every room you enter will be impacted, not by the volume of your voice, but by the intensity of the presence you carry. Do not underestimate small beginnings. Each step of obedience is a platform being built. Each silent yes is a spiritual throne being prepared. Every great transition is preceded by an upheaval. You will feel instability, environments shifting, connections dissolving. This is not a sign of failure. It is proof that the new is pressing in. The old system cannot contain the glory that God is about to unleash. So when the ground shakes, when structures sway, when comfort zones crumble, remember, you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Don't fight the change. Surrender to the flow of the Spirit, because after the upheaval will come the resurgence. After the deconstruction will come the coronation. And you will find yourself in a place of authority that you could never have achieved through natural means. God is propelling you into the new. There is a silent movement happening behind the scenes of the Spirit, the great separation of the end times. God is distinguishing those who only talked about faith from those who lived their faith in secret. It is not a separation based on appearance or external gifts. It is a separation of essence. Hearts are being weighed, motives are being revealed, and those who truly belong to the kingdom begin to be repositioned. The separation is subtle but definitive. You will notice inexplicable separations, changes in alliances, doors that close without warning. Do not be sad. Do not try to hold on to what God is taking away. Every separation is protection. Every distance created is deliverance. The weight of glory that you will carry cannot be shared with those who cannot bear your light. This new era is not for the immature. It is not for those who live guided only by emotion. God is looking for maturity, those who know how to discern times, who can bear the weight of waiting, who remain firm even when the ground seems to be crumbling. Emotion may drive you in the beginning, but only maturity will sustain you until the end. That is why the pressure has increased, not to destroy you, but to mature you. To teach you to trust in the invisible, to walk even without maps, to obey even without applause. Spiritual maturity is recognizing that not every no is defeat, and that not every silence is absence. It is knowing that even in the dark, God is working. He is forming spiritual leaders, not just enthusiastic followers. And you are among those leaders. The time has come to definitively let go of what is left behind, not just places or people, but also mindsets, old narratives, false identities that you have carried for survival. You cannot carry the promise with the baggage of Egypt. You were not called to wander in emotional circles. You were called to possess the promised land. To do this, it is necessary to let go of what is dead, break with cycles that drain your energy, cut ties that only sustain your insecurities. With each step of letting go, you will become lighter, faster, sharper, and what once seemed unattainable will begin to become reality. The past does not define what God will do in you. Today's obedience will pave the way for tomorrow's manifestation. Make no mistake, the calling that rests upon your life carries weight. It is not superficial lightness, it is sacred responsibility. God is entrusting you with mysteries, revelations, spiritual territories that demand the posture of king and servant at the same time. It is not a burden to crush you, but an honor that must be treated with reverence. Many want the glory, but few are willing to carry the weight. You were set apart because God saw in you the capacity to endure, to honor, to remain whole even when human eyes are not watching. Prepare to carry keys that will unlock destinies. Prepare to be the answer where many only saw problems. You do not carry just dreams. You carry entire destinies within your spirit. What God is requiring of His chosen ones now is deeper than simple emotional faith. It's total surrender, a delivery that does not negotiate, an obedience that does not question. It's no longer about obeying when it's easy or when it makes sense. It's about acting even when everything around you screams fear, doubt, insecurity. The new move will not come to those who wait for perfect conditions. It will come to those who move in uncertainty, with their eyes fixed on the voice of the Spirit. Your life will be the answer the world needs to see. It will not be through titles nor platforms, but through a life totally aligned with the sky. A life that says, without words, "Here I am, Lord, send me." The pressure you feel is not accidental. It is not punishment. It is purification. God is refining the gold hidden within you. Every tear, every anguish, every apparent loss is washing away the impurities from your soul, preparing you for a level of glory that few will ever have the honor of bearing. Pressure is the process that separates those who merely wish to be used from those who are ready to be used. It exposes what is genuine and what is merely adornment. If you feel like everything around you is being shaken, know this. It is because the platform upon which you will stand must be unshakable. What God will build in your life cannot be easily shaken. Therefore, the foundation is being deeply purified. The time of waiting is over. Now is the time to act, even in fear, even in trembling, even in the absence of vision. God is not waiting for your perfection. He is waiting for you to move. Each step of obedience will be accompanied by supply, protection, and revelation. You will discover that fear does not disappear before action. It is defeated during action. Your courage will not be the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward in spite of fear. Each yes you release, each step you dare to take, will open new dimensions of authority. God is calling you to walk on water, to live on the ground of radical faith, and those who dare to step out of the boat will see the promise unfold before their eyes. Before sending you, God is reconfiguring your heart. He is pulling out the roots of pride, fear, and self-sufficiency that could sabotage you in the new era. He is planting genuine humility, true trust, and total dependence. This reconfiguration may be uncomfortable because it touches on areas that you thought were already resolved. But it is necessary, because where He will take you, there will be no room for masks. There will be no room for religious performance, only for pure authenticity. Your heart will be your greatest weapon. Your purity will be your greatest protection, and your unconditional love will be the seal that confirms who you belong to. The time has come. Those who have been trained in silence, who have been tested in solitude, who have been molded in secret, are now beginning to be revealed, not by their own efforts, but by divine proclamation. God is bringing the hidden ones to the forefront, those who have not sought the limelight, but have remained faithful despite their lack of recognition. You will be called to strategic positions, not by human merit, but by divine election. The doors that will open before you will be ones that human strength could not have forged. What is coming will be so extraordinary that it can only be explained by one thing: the favor of the Lord rests upon you. Your journey of pain was not in vain. Every wound healed, every battle won in secret, now becomes a tool in God's hands to heal others. You will not only carry a word, you will carry an anointing, a real authority to set captives free, to break spiritual chains, to bring healing to broken hearts. Your mere presence will be an atmosphere of freedom. You will be like a river that overflows, bringing life wherever you go. The new spiritual era will not be marked only by visible miracles, but by changes in entire atmospheres. And you will be one of the catalysts of this movement. What God is pouring out now is not just revival, it is the establishment of a spiritual kingdom. The chosen ones will not be just survivors, they will be spiritual rulers. Men and women who will rule with wisdom, justice, and authority in the Spirit. You will be called to influence areas that once seemed unreachable: education, government, media, the arts, business. Not to promote your name, but to expand the kingdom. God has trained you to rule, and now He begins to release the scepter of authority into your hands. Where you were once ignored, now you will be sought. Where you were once rejected, now you will be established. What is beginning in your life cannot be stopped. It is an irreversible movement, an avalanche of glory that advances, destroying all the barriers that the enemy has tried to erect. God has not only opened a door, He has opened a road, a wide and clear path for you to run without fear, without restraints, without limitations. The acceleration that will come will be so intense that you will feel as if you are being carried by the very wind of the Spirit. And the more you advance, the more others will be pulled into the light. You will not only enter into the promise, you will take many with you. This is the time of the unstoppable movement of the elect. From this moment on, your spiritual identity will no longer be disguised. You will no longer be confused, diminished, or diluted by your surroundings. The separation that God has accomplished in your spirit is now manifested in the natural. You bear the visible mark of the chosen. It does not matter if the world tries to classify you according to your past. God has already sealed your future. You will be recognized not by the title you carry, but by the atmosphere you bring. Wherever you go, the light within you will betray your heavenly origin, and no one will be able to deny it. You have been set apart for this new age. Your identity is now established in glory, power, and eternal purpose. Time is short. The wheels of the spiritual world are turning rapidly. God is calling the chosen to step forward, not tomorrow, not when they feel ready, but now. Your obedience is a matter of destiny for many who are on the brink of spiritual death. There are territories waiting to be conquered. There are souls silently crying out for someone to carry the answer. You were shaped to be that answer. The urgency you feel in your spirit is not anxiety, it is a summons. Heaven is not collapsing, it is moving. And God is calling you to align yourself with His mission with all your heart, all your mind, all your strength. Now is the time to act. What God is doing is not small or isolated. It is happening simultaneously in different parts of the earth. Chosen ones are awakening, prodigal sons are returning, hidden leaders are emerging. You are part of this collective awakening. It is no coincidence that you are hearing this message. You are a key piece in the great heavenly puzzle. Your activation is not just for your personal life, it is for the story of redemption. Your awakening will be part of God's answer to a generation crying out for authenticity, for truth, for real deliverance. You are not just living ordinary days. You are standing on prophetic ground. This is the time to align your life completely with heaven. There is no more room for half-heartedness, partial faith, or double living. God is calling his chosen ones to absolute alignment, body, soul, and spirit, will, emotions, and decisions. Everything must converge toward the eternal purpose. And as you align, you will find that old battles cease, locked doors open, and resources that were previously unattainable flow naturally. Alignment is not just spiritual, it is practical. It will touch your finances, your relationships, your words, your dreams. Nothing will be left outside the influence of the glory that now descends upon you. If this word has resonated in your soul, do not ignore this call. Subscribe now to the Chosen Signal channel. Turn on notifications and share this message with others who know deep down that they have been set apart for something greater. Leave in the comments, "I answer the final call," and make it a spiritual decree. You were not chosen by chance. You were set apart for an eternal mission. Now, spiritual history is waiting for your answer. This is the time of the great separation. This is the time of those who will say, "Here am I, send me."